Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi is widely recognized as one of the 20th century's greatest political and spiritual leaders. Honored in India as the father of the nation, he pioneered and practiced the principle of satyagraha, a resistance to tyranny through mass non-violent civil disobedience. Due to his stature, he is now referred to as Mahatma, meaning great soul. World civil rights leaders from Martin Luther King, Jr. to Nelson Mandela have credited Gandhi as a source of inspiration in their struggles to achieve equal rights for their people, while leading nationwide campaigns to ease poverty, expand women's rights, build religious and ethnic harmony and eliminate the injustices of the caste system. Gandhi supremely applied the principles of non-violent civil disobedience, playing a key role in freeing India from foreign domination. He was often imprisoned for his actions, sometimes for years, but he accomplished his aim in 1947, when India gained its independence from Britain. As his fame spread, so his political influence increased. By 1921 he was leading the Indian National Congress, and reorganizing the party's constitution around the principle of Swaraj, or complete political independence from the British. He also instigated a boycott of British goods and institutions, and his encouragement of mass civil disobedience led to his arrest, on 10 March 1922, and trial on sedition charges, for which he served 2 years, of a 6-year prison sentence. The Indian National Congress began to splinter during his incarceration, and he remained largely out of the public eye following his release from prison in February 1924, returning 4 years later, in 1928, to campaign for the granting of a Dominion status to India by the British. When the British introduced the tax on salt in 1930, he famously led a 250-mile march to the sea to collect his own salt. Recognizing his political influence nationally, the British authorities were forced to negotiate various settlements with Gandhi over the following years, which resulted in the alleviation of poverty, granted status to the untouchables, enshrined rights for women, and led inexorably to Gandhi's goal of Swaraj, political independence from Britain. What great people say about Mahatma Gandhi. Albert Einstein once called Gandhi a role model for the generations to come in a letter writing about him. British musician John Lennon referred to Gandhi as an influence on his music. Former U.S. Vice President and environmentalist Al Gore also acknowledges Gandhi's influence on him. German-born theoretical physicist Albert Einstein once said, "I believe that Gandhi's views were the most enlightened of all the political men of our time." Better known as the Mahatma, or Great Soul, Gandhi was an Indian lawyer who led his country to freedom from British colonial rule in 1947. He was assassinated months later at age 78. Gandhi is most famous for his philosophy of nonviolence that has inspired civil rights leaders around the world. Globally respected for his fight against the evils of caste and religious violence, for most Indians his worldwide reputation is a source of great pride. Gandhi's images all over India, on advertisements, banknotes, and murals. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. An ounce of patience is worth more than a ton of preaching. In a gentle way, you can shake the world. The greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way its animals are treated. Gandhi organized Indian resistance, fought anti-Indian legislation in the courts and led large protests against the colonial government. Along the way, he developed a public persona and a philosophy of truth-focused, non-violent non-cooperation he called satyagraha. Winston Churchill, 1930 said, "It is alarming and also nauseating to see Mr. Gandhi, a seditious Middle Temple lawyer, now posing as a fakir of a type well known in the East, striding half-naked up the steps of the Viceregal Palace, while he is still organizing and conducting a defiant campaign of civil disobedience, to parley on equal terms with the representative of the King Emperor." Jawaharlal Nehru, 1948. On the death of Gandhiji said, "The light has gone out," I said, and yet I was wrong, for the light that shone in this country was no ordinary light. The light that has illumined this country for these many years will illumine this country for many more years, and 1,000 years later, that light will be seen in this country, and the world will see it, and it will give solace to innumerable hearts. Albert Einstein, 1948 said, Generations to come will scarce believe that such a one as this walked the earth in flesh and blood. Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. said, "If humanity is to progress, Gandhi is inescapable." He lived, thought, and acted, inspired by the vision of humanity evolving toward a world of peace and harmony. We may ignore him at our own risk. Gopal Krishna Gokhale said, "He is a man among men, a hero among heroes, a patriotic among patriotics, and we may well say that in him Indian humanity at the present time has really reached its high watermark." Jawaharlal Nehru, 1948. On the death of Gandhiji said, "Friends and comrades, the light has gone out of our lives and there is darkness everywhere. The truth is that RSS and most Indians dislike Gandhi, but the world outside will not let them dump him. The RSS hates Mahatma Gandhi, but it is forced to include Gandhi in its list of national icons to be remembered and revered." Practise writes a Porvanant. Believe it or not, but it is true that Gandhi was only a leader, who was not at all power-stricken. He was never inclined towards power and rank. Hate and poison spread by the RSS had led to the murder of Gandhi. Talk to RSS members and you'll be struck by the hatred and contempt they have for Gandhi even today. They also weave lies about Gandhi and his associates to justify their hatred for him. And yet, the RSS has been forced to list Gandhi among the Practise, someone who is to be remembered and revered every morning, in its pantheon of national figures. RSS had to do it, although it hates to have to bow before Gandhi, who seems to have taken his revenge in his own way. He keeps reminding his murderers that they cannot do things directly, that they must always resort to stealth. Had the world comprised only India, the RSS would happily consign Gandhi to the dustbin. His deeds and sacrifices are preserved in the thousands libraries in India and abroad, moreover in the hearts of people, which can never be wiped and erased. Mahatma Gandhi will go down in history on par with Buddha and Jesus Christ, Lord Mountbatten. It is rightly said the legend never dies.